Energy's the new currency. It's what I'm being told. So I'm just gonna let my energy flow. And I hope you get it. Where power reigns supreme. Energy's the currency that fuels our dreams. No more dollars, no more cents, just watts and volts. That's how we gon' pay the rent. Oh baby, it's energy. No more gold and silver, it's the brand new currency called energy. Energy's the key. Some say it's the fortune and fame, but all I keep seeing is the currency. I keep hearing energy. Energy, energy, charging up lives, setting up some free lights within us, playing chess in 3D. From the morning's light to the midnight hour, our energy is the source that gives us that righteous power. From the morning's light. Hello, everyone. Grand Rising. I know it's early, right? It's about 9:57 a.m. here over on the island of Borinquen. I am Dr. Poetry, and I am calm. I am so calm right now. I'm doing this wonderful show, Minding My Heart, with Dr. Poetry myself, because sometimes I notice that on Sundays is when I'm really like trying to recalibrate, like trying to realign, trying to stay calm. We've talked about so many things about fibromyalgia and all those fight or flight moments that we all get. And so I've been really working on minding my heart. You know, we say, mind your business. I say, mind your heart. I'm learning how to even stop saying, I notice that's a problem. But, you know, today's talk is going to be about something called, why is it so hard to say no? Why is it so hard to say no? Yeah, a lot of people say it's not hard for me. I could say no. But sometimes if you're like me, I'm not saying everyone is like me, but if you ever struggle with just saying no, I've been there. I think it's part of the humanitarian spirit. I kind of always want to say, I'm going to be there. I'll help you. But I would say for the past few months, I've been saying, no, I can't. And I've been okay with it. But today I want to talk about trying to get better. What else am I going to talk about? Trying to get better. If you say you're perfect, you're lying to yourself. And as I was trying to do some, organizing myself and saying, where do I need to improve? I look at the shows, I look at my poetry, I listen to the audios, I watch the videos. Big shout out to everyone who's been listening to our most recent release, 33 tracks of poetry. So poetic. Shout out to Mr. Def Poetry, who is an excellent, excellent producer, not only here on the shows, on the Alliance Network with Hear Me Out Poetry, but he's also excellent at just creating music and videos, and we work very well together. So shout out to you, Def Poetry. And if you're sleeping, stay sleeping. He has no idea I'm doing this. Because I want to speak to those that are home right now, right? And we're having like a cup of coffee, and we're having that moment where, we take off the makeup. We just want to just relax and just, tomorrow I go to work. I want to reflect on what I've done. And so what I'm saying about saying it's so hard to say no is because as I came across this book and this app that I'm using, that it's like a self-help, trying to get you through, especially folks like me who's always busy. I said, let me see what this is. And I spent 27 minutes reading over some motivational encouragement and how to get better and things that I think I need to get better at. So today, I feel I need to get better at just saying no. So I'm going to go and get into it. And it talks about asking yourself, have you ever found yourself saying yes, even when you you knew, even though every fiber of your being screams no, well, you're not alone. Many of us struggle with this simple yet powerful word, no. And I'm saying this because I have trouble with it, understanding why saying it can be so challenging, you know. And the first step towards mastering this, what I read in this book and in this app, it says the first challenging um, step forward towards mastering this life changing skill, they say you have to imagine the freedom of choosing how you spend your time and energy. That's right. How we spend our time and energy. And I think that means a lot for most of us because if you're like me and many others, when it comes to creating content, creating music, poetry, just always thinking. I'm always in that frame of mind. I can't help it. I've been like that since I was a child. And we always look at ways of saying, let's do that, let's do this. And people see our greatness. They see our greatness. And yet, someone's lack of management or lack of uh, prioritizing themselves becomes an emergency for you when you're in that moment of always creating and doing the right thing. So, I wanted to have a conversation about that. I'm going to read over the stuff that I had here. I'm going to read it straight from here. I like the way it's broken down. And I was in there. I was like pulled in. All right. All right. So it says this. It says this. Hold on. All right. So, chapter 1, the psychology behind no. The fear of rejection and a desire to be liked are deeply rooted in human psychology, right? From a young age, many of us are taught to comply with authority figures, parents, teachers, even peers, because we have this fear of losing approval or encountering negative emotions, right? Like anger or disappointment. The fear is not metaphorical. We know that. It's not that I'm giving you an example to say that it's something behind a metaphor. No, it's actually ingrained. It's something that's biologically ingrained in us. Um, and our brains, right? Our brains perceive this, it's perceived as like a rejection, a threat, and activates. And I say this because it activates the pain that centers in the middle of not saying yes. And you feel guilty. So we're living in a yes culture, right? We are. We know this. And those of you who are past 30, you should know that we are living in that culture. This conversation is for all of us who are just, come on, this is the weekend. How many do you have relatives that just pop out of nowhere and say, "Hey, I'm in the island. I really need to see you. Better not let me down. You said I know you're there. Come through. Come on, I don't want to hear it. You better be there." What in the bacon, egg, and cheese roll is happening there? I better do anything. Okay. I said I was going to try to calm down. I'm going to try to calm down. I'm doing it. I'm keeping it a buck. I'm trying to stay centered. All right. Woosah. Because that's what I'm working on. Yeah. I'm trying to say no without punching you in the face. Let me stop. What am I saying? I'm trying to say no calmly. It's a challenge because I'm so straightforward. How many of us are so straightforward that even our eyes, like even when I'm saying peaceful things, my eyes don't lie. They're the windows of my soul. This is why I highlight them in my little videos. I don't care if you like them or not. These are my eyes and they speak My soul speaks. The being in me comes right through here. So if you're scared, don't be scared. The yes culture. And so let's get back to it. Those relatives, right? We're often led to believe that always saying yes is the key to success. It's another one. We prize eagerness. Guilty. Eagerness and willingness, linking positivity with advancement and work and harmony and personal relationships. Guilty. I'm an Aquarius. I believe that every human should be great. We should all be filled with greatness. What are you doing? Why are you wasting your talent? Oh my God, you could be doing this. You should do better. That is definitely me, y'all. I'll be like, you could do better. Get better at it. Like, work on it. Because I'm trying to do better. I see that I could do better. I could be great. We all can be great. But even that, think about it. Why am I putting so much energy into someone that doesn't want to be great? Got to think about that. That's also saying no and yes to you. I get it. Who am I? I'm not, well, I feel like Wonder Woman in many, many, many occasions, but I'm not Wonder Woman. As much as I tell myself I'm Wonder Woman, really? Am I really Wonder Woman? You ever heard the expression, nice people never say no? Nice people never say no. Well, I'm not nice. I'm kind. Nice is another. Look up the etymology of nice. Look up the etymology of nice. Let's look up the etymology of nice. Let's look that up right now. I'm going to look it up right now. Let's get into it so we can get through it. Okay? What is the etymology of nice? I'm going to break things down today. Try to remember. I'm remembering, by the way. We've been talking about the frequencies and the Schumann frequency, the vibration, the earth is amplified. Well, let me tell you something. I've been feeling a lot. Are we glowing or are we glitching? Because I know I'm glitching and glowing at the same time. I'm glitching with a glow. I am glitching with a glow. I kill myself. I know. I'm glitching with a glow. I do feel that the earth. I do feel that, girl. It's not fun. I'm going to say that. All right. Let's look up the word nice. I am going to hold on. Here we go. Stop sharing this. I'm gonna go in here. Etymology. Here we go, y'all. We gotta do this. I mean it. I mean, hey, I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, but I'm so nice." I know. I know you're nice. I know you're nice. But I'm not. I'm kind. It's a difference. It's a damn difference. And if you did not know, you need to ask somebody. Ask etymology online. Okay? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Vámonos pa'l monte. Add to the stage. Alrighty. What do we have here? Nice. Adjective. Late 13th century. In reference to persons. Foolish. Ignorant. Frivolous. Senseless. From Old French nice. Careless. Clumsy. Weak. Poor. Get this one. Needy. Simple. Listen to me. Look at my lips. Stupid. Stupid. Silly. Foolish. Okay? From Latin nescius. Ignorant. Unaware. Literally. literally not knowing. Now, y'all want me to repeat that? Because when I saw that, and I read that a while back, by the way, I stopped saying I was nice a long time ago. I say that all the time. Oh, Izzy, but you're so nice. No, I'm not. I guess not too many people read etymologies, but shout out to those who do. Shout out to ANN. Shout out to all those pioneers out there that are doing the work and taught me a lot of things. Looking up the etymology. That's a Sunday. That's a banana split for me. That's a piece of cake. I love cake and cookies. So when I see etymologies, I get that same dopamine feeling like, ooh, there's an etymology I need to look up. And nice was definitely one of those aha moments for me. Because saying no becomes challenging for those of us who are stuck on trying to be nice all the time. So if you know that nice derives from being foolish, ignorant, frivolous, senseless, careless, clumsy, weak, poor, needy, simple, stupid, silly, foolish, ignorant, unaware, literally not knowing, you would want to be kind. Why is it so difficult to be kind? Because it means you have to look in the mirror. You have to manage certain, like me. I be trying to be kind too. I don't try. I am kind. But when I'm not being kind, and then I start feeling careless, clumsy, and believe it or not, weak, poor, foolish, even needy, because I feel the need to be heard. That's needy too. Because you interrupt people all the time. You're coming all over their conversations. Nah, this is what I'm saying. This is how I feel. This is how I feel. Because somehow you feel the need to stop being kind and you go right into being nice. Hold on to your panties and your boxes. I understand this sounds like I'm speaking another language. Pero yo no estoy hablando de otro idioma. Estoy hablando de lo mismo. I'm speaking of saying no. And it's okay to say no. So I say all that to say that one of the reasons why I thought it was important to bring up that whole, you know, definition. All right. So let's get back to it. Now that we got that whole nice and all that stuff going on. Where was I? Okay. So we're talking about yes culture, right? The yes culture. All right. So I was saying that we're often led to believe that always saying yes is the key to success, and we talked about advancement at work and harmony and the personal relationships, because somehow we feel that if we say yes, and it sounds in street words, you're trying to be down. FOMO, fear of missing out. All those things happen. We know they do. Come on, y'all. We know we do that. But when I was examining myself, when I was evaluating myself, when I was looking in the mirror and saying, why am I feeling this way? Why do I get upset when somebody's expecting, they have these expectations, they want me to be a certain way when I cannot be a certain way just because you want me to be a certain way? If you like, some of us, we fall back and we say, well, maybe this person's right. Maybe I should evaluate this. I could have said this better. But when it comes to your inner peace, when it comes to making decisions for yourself and saying, no, I do not want to go to that event. No, I don't want to go into that room. I don't like being there. My energy doesn't feel right. I don't like that. But everyone expects you to be present. Kindly say no. Why? Because then you'll be having conversations about it. Are you really being yourself? And what does that even look like? Right? So the other thing about nice people never saying no, that's not true. But we know what nice is, right? I told ya. Nice people never say no. Of course they never say no. What does nice mean? Didn't I just go over the etymology? Once you find out that being nice is not kind, there's a difference. Okay? So let's talk about the misconceptions of saying no. The misconceptions of saying no. No is not negative. No is not negative. It is not negative. It has the power to get yourself in a position, to put yourself in a position to set boundaries. All right? When you say no, you stand on it and you set boundaries. I'm saying this to you because I am processing that, and I've been doing that, and it's been working for me in a way. You see how eyebrow, you see how that lifts? My eyebrow goes this way. I'm not playing. I am saying we have to be honest with ourselves. When we say no, it's no. You know, pun intended. But do you guys remember when we talked about when all the Me Too movement was out, right? And I say movement because that's what it was, almost like a fad. I'm not taking away from anyone else. I understand things happen. You know how society is. Everyone was speaking to no means no. I heard that actually the last night. I heard that we were laughing. It was a joke though, with my family over here. Um, no means no, no, right? That also refers to when you making a decision about whether you want to visit, see, stay, go, leave, eat, whatever you want. If you say no, it's a no. And I haven't always been that way. I used to second guess myself all the time. Listen to my poetry. I talk about it. It almost sounds like I'm like, oh, weak, but I'm not. I think the weak person is a person that doesn't want to ever explain, or I should say, not explain, but the weak person to me is a person that doesn't admit to themselves that they have weak moments. Imagine what life would be if everything was strengths. Now, I agree. We shouldn't focus only on our weaknesses. We should pour into those strengths. Absolutely. So when we are feeling weak, we go up there. I like to mention, and a big shout out to the egos. Ego is important. Ego helped me survive. It's the ego that says, get up, get up, get up. They're about to come and hit you. Like, if you passed, well, if you've been in situations like I've been, never know who you're talking to. And you feel that spirit. Some people say it's God's voice. Some people say it's spirit. Some people say it's an ancestor. I think it's all of it, but also ego. Ego tells me to listen to the voice. Ego says, get up when everybody's telling you to stay down. Now, if you only operate in ego, that's the birth of egocentric. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that a lot of people say, oh, she's all in her ego. No. Because that's what you're going to hear when you start saying no. That's what you're going to hear when you say no. No. Say it with me. No. Say it in Spanish. No. 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 Uh-uh. No. Okay? No is not permanent. It's not permanent. It has the power to set boundaries and prioritize what truly matters to you. So no is not permanent. Saying no now doesn't preclude a yes later. It's not closing a door, but it's preserving your existing commitments. If you have existing commitments and you're all in with certain projects, that's why some people seek your yes. because they know that once you're in, you're all in. What I wouldn't do to help others. And this is not me embracing my accolades and blowing my own toot toot. It's about when you know your worth, when you know your work ethic. Shout out to Bree Talks. Shout out to the Alliance Network. Shout out to Deaf Poetry, Hear Me Out Poetry. All of us that really work hard and we do what we have to do because we do realize the need for a collective collection. I haven't had a collection in a long time. Every time I think of collections, I think of funerals. Bree Talks, I think I have ADHD because my mind came out of nowhere. I don't know where that came from. Collection. It's horrible. But anyway, let's get back to it. Closing a door. It's not like you're closing a door. You're not burning any bridges. You're just protecting your moment. And I know it seems so simple. It's like one would say, "What the hell? Why are we even spending so much time on this conversation?" Because what's easy for you is difficult for others. You're not being kind. You're being nice. Have empathy. All right. Recently, I reached out to someone who I was not. Man, when I say no, is a no. But I mean like no to even communicating and being around certain people. And I had said, get out of my face, pretty much. And then some. I said other things. Yeah, I did a lot of bleep bleep, fuck these, ooh, puño, carajo. I said a lot of things that I probably shouldn't be saying, but I was being nice there. I was being ignorant. And I learned about a loss that this person had. As we get older, we will lose our parents if we haven't lost them already. I am very, 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 very committed to being there for folks when they lose not only a parent or a sibling or a child, but I hate to say I'm an empath too, because I've seen it truly be weaponized and super conflated. But I am an empath. I've been an empath since I was 7 years old. And I don't mean the empaths that are sobbing for no reason, although that happens too. I usually know when something's happening. And that's why um, I'm having this conversation right now that I'm gonna say this. So this person I learned, social media, whatever. I read that they lost their mom. I went from being nice with this person to being kind. I felt their pain. My mother's still alive, but it's almost like I lost her. She's not the same. She's at a point of no return. So those conversations with mom are not the same anymore. I can't tell her about the police moments and all the wonderful poetry and all the stuff that I'm doing. I really can't. My mom thinks she's in love with Aaron Judge. You know what I mean? She thinks she's having a relationship with the Yankee man. Shout out to my sisters. We love her. We make humor about it. But anyway, getting back to this person, and somehow I felt their pain and agony. The minute I read that, I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, and like genuinely, like, what the, who the, oh, because that's painful. I can't even. When I lost my dad, I was like, and my mom, well, yeah, I already know. Those who are near me know. It does something to my brain. It just crushes me, my heart. Shout out to this title of the show, Minding My Heart. So I reached out to this person that I thought I would never reach out to because, again, there's a saying in Spanish when we put the cross on you, like Bree Talk says, I don't spin the block. No, I spin blocks. I do. Because of this that I'm about to say. You never know if you're ever going to drink from that water. They say that in Spanish too. I also know that forgiveness comes it's really for you. It's really for you. Right? When you put out that energy out there, when I get angry, when I get angry, my mouth is reckless. I have no heart. I'll say exactly, exactly, word for word, verbatim, with a couple of more sprinkles of discord. I'll say the worst to any individual group of people who have put me in a position to compromise my sanity. And I actually did a U turn on that. I said, my heart goes out to you. My heart, you know, sending you strength. My no turned into a yes. Do we have exceptions? Of course. Because at the end of the day, when you say no, it's about you. Why you want you gotta ask yourself, why am I saying no? What about the situation that's making me say no? See, I don't shoot from the holster. Like I don't just no, I gotta have a target. I gotta have a target. I have to know why I'm shooting. What threat? What's the situation? What is going on? I sit back and I observe. I'm an observer. I sit back, I'm like, okay, I heard that. I'm hearing you, but I'm not feeling you. And that's when my yeses turn into no. It's a no for me. So no will not harm relationships when you deliver with respect. A no can actually enhance mutual respect and understanding if you're cool, right? And I'm just going to say that sometimes it's all right. Now, what is the payment for always saying yes? What's the cost? What's the prize? Hmm? What's the prize? Saying yes when you actually mean no is like carrying a backpack that keeps getting heavier and heavier with every unnecessary commitment. At first, it is manageable. No, it's feasible. That can happen. But as more weight piles on, extra tasks, obligations, favors, you start to feel drained, sluggish, and even overwhelmed. So eventually, you're so weighed down that you can barely move. You can't barely move forward. So when I start saying no, my health is being compromised. My health. And I'm learning that not everybody cares about your health. You could be looking dead in their face and say, I had a tumor in my head. And they don't give a and nobody gives a shit. Or you could say, I'm going through this. Nobody cares. So when you start looking at things like that, be selfish? No. Be protective of yourself. That's why I'm talking about saying no. And I love those people who respect my no's and say, ah, not a problem. All right, we got this. We'll move on tomorrow. Those are the people that I'm usually friends for life with because I'm the same way. My no is my no and my yes is my yes. Everything in between is bullshit, y'all. It's shit. So I really mean that. All right, so where was I? Psychologists highlight that. Okay, let's read what the psychologists are saying because this part, I got everything else, but this one reminds me of the police department because they're always talking about burnout. Meanwhile, they're so condescending. I love y'all, police. I love all of y'all. Love my people. But how the psychologists are going to tell us you can't be stressed? We're police officers, so come back with something else. Um, Burnout and exhaustion. Overcommitting can lead to overwhelming stress and anxiety. neglecting your own needs to please others. See, there I'm good. That part right there, I've done great. I don't neglect my own needs. I've been very good with that. I'd be like, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I gotta do this. I'm really big on scheduling and my stuff. I'm good with all. I'm pretty organized when it comes to that. It's like having my little puppy when they look at you with those little eyes and be like, and you know that they cannot eat that, but they want it, and you want to give it to them. It's a no, because then I think about how that's gonna affect her later on. It's a no. So sometimes that's what happens even with relationships and friendships and my mom be wanting me to say certain things that I just be like, no, I'm not gonna entertain that. I'm not gonna participate in that. And she's practically her deathbed. I'm not gonna do that. This is just a no for me. Because when you're gone, I gotta deal with that. Not gonna happen. So yeah, missed opportunities, over overcommitting. A lot of people overcommit, leaving no room for what truly matters. Did you look at the sky? I've been overcommitting, by the way. This is why I'm doing the show too, because and I'm doing it with myself, with my whole team. Like Def Fortune will tell you, we're sitting there doing work, and I'm like, did you get that? Did you get that? You got the video? You got this? Okay. And I've been in my I call this the command center where I'm at right now in my house. Did I look at the sky? Did I look at the sun? Are my feet in the? Am I grounding today? So that's why I was like, let me take off my man. Let me just do this. After the show, I'm gonna walk on the grass. I'm gonna look at the sun. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna do all this right here. My neck hurts. Do my yoga. I'm gonna do all that. I'm taking the time. I'm reading this great book that I've been screaming around, but edible and medicinal plants. Yes, I'm doing all these little things that I have been putting aside because I've been on work mode. I'm a beast. I understand that. As you get busy, I am. I love it. Oh, videos. I want to do. I want to create. But take time for yourself. Say no to yourself sometimes. Say no to yourself. No, Izzy. No, you're not doing that today. No, we're not doing that today. No, it's a no. You got to keep going. So, not all yeses are bad and not all no's are bad, but sometimes saying yes is the right choice. Say yes to freedom. Free yourself. Chill, relax. Say yes to looking at the sky, looking at the, oh, that sounds real country. Looking at the sky, looking at the moon, looking at the sun. And I live like literally 5 minutes away from the beach, 3 minutes away from the rainforest. Well, I drive fast. So I live right there. And I'm making some plans to say, okay, countryside, here I come. Look at the countryside, enjoy all the beauty. So, not all yeses are bad. Sometimes saying yes is the right choice, especially when it aligns with your goals and values. And this is why I chose Sunday to do this show. I want to kind of like reflect on where I need to improve, and I need to improve in realigning myself. Excuse me, right? And create opportunities that excite me that have nothing to do with business. What excites me the most, y'all, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, is business. I love creating, and it seems like business, but I love creating. I love poetry. I love music. I love talking with everybody, creating. I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger. I am. But I'm also I'll punch you in your face type person. Like I could hug you, but don't get stupid because I'll. Oh, here we go again. Calm down. Woo! Calm down. What am I doing? Peace. Peace, 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 be still. All right. So I want to work on stuff like that, communicating better, trying to get better at things, and really seek genuine joy. Genuine joy. Being kind while you're doing it too. And that I'm gonna be honest with you, I do that with love. I don't even have to sit here and tell anybody anything. But we have to understand that the key to saying yes intentionally when it truly serves you, not just because you feel obligated, is that you're excited about the opportunities that you're creating for you and for others. And that genuinely excites me. to see people operating in their best, at their best, growing, learning. But I say no when they don't have the willingness. They, those, anybody, if the shoe fits, wear it. Wear it. If the stiletto fits, wear it. Okay. If the Air Jordans, if the Air Force Ones fit, wear them. I usually speak in rice and beans, so I don't sugarcoat anything. The bakeries across the street, you can go there. I really mean being very intentional with your yeses and your nos. My mother used to say everything in between is shit. She used to say that. I don't know, yes, I don't know, but I don't know, but mierda. That's shit. Oh wait, it's Sunday. I said I was gonna chill. Relax, relax, Izzy, relax. Okay, we gotta get going. I'm gonna take a quick little I wanna play something for you guys before we get out of here because I wanna turn this into one more thing and then I'll tell you right now. Okay, before I finish this conversation. All right, hold on. So, before we go, these are the questions I was asking myself this morning that said, Izzy, you should do a little self reflection talk this morning with everyone out there, TV world and in YouTube world. This is a conversation. So, how do you decide when you say no? These are the questions that I was asking myself. Does saying yes align with my core values and goals? Will this commitment genuinely enrich my life? You gotta think about that one right there. Could saying no actually create space for opportunities that matter more to me? You gotta think about that. You gotta think about that. Hey, Hercules is up. Y'all heard him? That's the little, yeah. All right, hold on. So I asked these 3 questions. Let's get back to it. Saying yes. Does saying yes align with your core values? Right? Your goals? Are you gonna be in fight or flight all the time? Are you gonna feel like you're always in a jumping from a parachute? That's not cool. I'm done with that. I don't want that. Saying yes. Will this saying yes, this commitment that I'm saying yes to, will genuinely enrich my life? Or is it going to take from me? You got to think about that. Could saying no actually create space for opportunities that matter more to me? And let me be clear about this part right here. It sounds like one is being an opportunist. No. If it doesn't create opportunities for me, of course I'm going to be like, how how but if it doesn't even create opportunities for no one else, no one can learn from it, I can't help others neither, you're not going to see me involved. You're not going to see me involved. Yes, you can make fun of me all you want when it comes to being conscious and writing about positivity and uplifting. Oh, that bothers you. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Sounds like a you problem. But that's my decision. Wherever my energy, my attention goes, wherever my attention goes, my energy is going to flow. And wherever I put my energy, things are going to grow. Everything grows. Damn. Subliminally speaking, everything grows. Hey, smile. I know I'm crazy. All right, so let's go. But seriously, all jokes aside, I'm being real. Like, it's okay to create space for opportunities for you, but if it doesn't create opportunity for nothing, nada, then I can see why I'm deciding to say no. Now, one of the strategies I've learned, I read this, and I'm gonna read it word for word, verbatim right now, because I really, really love this. I love the way it was worded. It's called Practical Strategies. And I'm gonna read it from here. Hold on, here we go. I'm reading y'all. Practical strategies. Number one, pause. I know we always say pause when we think we're talking dirty and no diddy and all, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that pause. You know that pause when you, like, I pause when I'm about to smack somebody. Oh yeah. I pause when I'm about to go in, and it's not a. Hmm. I pause. I go back like that. When I go back like that, that means I'm going full in. It's like a tsunami. You know, when it's about to hit a tsunami, the ocean goes all. I'm an Aquarius. I'm water. It's going all the way back, because it's coming with a whole boom. That's what I do. Unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because this is why we're talking about self-help and all this stuff that I'm into, because I have my moments. There has to be balance. I have to, because that's why I get upset, taking full accountability, because I was saying yes when I needed to say no, and then I'm in a position, then now I'm upset, and then woo, boom, and it comes out of nowhere. So taking full responsibility, taking accountability, that's what this looks like. Because you sit back and you're like, where did I do? Okay, I said yes when I should have said no. That's when the tsunami came in. That's why I was upset. That's why I got angry. That's why I was like, oh shit. Oh, okay. Okay, copy. So, number one, strategy. Pause before responding. Pause before responding. It's in our nature to immediately want to respond. And some people react. Some people react. I respond. But some people react for real, for real. They just react. And just because someone's asking you something doesn't mean you need to answer immediately. You could take a time, say, you know what? Let me think about that. Even though you feel like it's a yes, think about it. Take a moment to assess what's really being asked. What are they asking you? What is the question? Take a moment to assess what's really, really being asked. The future test, the future you test. That's what they call it. I like this one right here. The future test. It's called, I keep saying the future test, but it's really the future you test. All right? The future you test. I keep repeating myself because I want to be clear. I want to be abundantly and categorically clear with this. This is so important. It's helping me, yeah. Excuse me. It's helping me so much. Okay, so ask. Will my future self, this is a good question, y'all. I like this one. Will my future self thank me for saying yes? Mm. Will my future self thank me for saying yes? Or will they be exhausted? Will my future will my future self thank me for saying yes, or will they be exhausted? Am I going to exhaust my future me in the future? Pun intended, repetitive. Valga la redundancia. Pardon the redundancy. You got to think about that. I know we're living in a microwave society. Everything's like now, instant gratification. We gotta get. I need an answer now. No. I take time. Take your time. Let me reevaluate. Wait, no. Let's do. Why? Because I've learned me. Those fight or flight moments that I get, the tsunami things that I become like a rah. I get like that because I made decisions that I needed to take my time making. So that's why I love this right here. I love what they're saying. And it says the 5-second pause rule. You know, we all say pause, right? Because we all be thinking dirty and stuff, and we be saying little jokes and pause, no diddy. And I'm the first one to say all those things, you know, pause, pause, pause. Shout out to pause. Pause. Before answering any questions, when you're being about saying yes or no, count 5 seconds. You know how in the movies, before the movie starts, it'd be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're on. Well, I love videos. Just call me Easy, Izzy Spielberg. But when we're creating movies, right? Movies, videos. Oh, you know what? I'm affirm that creating movies. I receive it. If I said that, that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna create movies. I'm gonna create movies, y'all. Y'all heard it here. Y'all gonna remember this. You're gonna be like, I remember when Izzy was on there and she did a whole YouTube thing and she did it on Roku and I heard her say she's gonna make movies. I'm gonna make movies. That's it. I'm gonna make movies. All right, but let's get back to this. Before I make a movie, let me just explain why we can't be saying yes and no all the time. But that's a yes. Making movies is a yes. So it's a 5 second pause. Before answering, count to 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Imagine that in your head when the person's you like there and they're talking to you. Just be like, you know what? Let me get back to you on that. That works for me. That way, the person you take everything they're talking to you about, you really sit with it and you do your work and you do your homework and you verify and you examine, you do whatever you want to do, and it helps. Yeah, you could feel comfortable. That way, you make a decision. You can sleep well instead of, and it could be a simple question. Now, you want to go out with me? You want to talk to me? You want, yeah, that type of stuff. Well, you decide if you want to explore the possibility of saying yes or no. This sounds like a simple Mickey Mouse conversation, doesn't it? You'll be surprised. This right here, this conversation we've been having for what, 50 minutes now? You'll be surprised why it's so important. I know I'm making sense, and I know you know I'm making sense. The question is, what are we going to do about it? I say, reevaluate that. Ask yourself, if you're going to take anything away from here, do that part. Number one, pause before responding. Pause. Number two, practice assertiveness. Clearly state your reasons without over explaining. Don't over explain. I was an over explainer, man. I'm an Aquarius. I would do a whole map, the crime mapping and the statistics. And, well, I did my research. This is why, because I really feel that this is the way it should be. And I don't feel, I know, I think, I'm absolutely 100% sure this is the way. Why am I doing all that? It's too much energy. Too much, girl. Take it. You're doing too much. Izzy, sit the fuck down. And I understood. Just be impeccable with your word. Shout out to Don Ruiz, the 4 agreements. All right. Clearly state your reasons without over explaining. Remember, no is a complete sentence. Period. No. And I don't mean period. I mean, it's a complete sentence. It's a period, All right. Be appreciative, yet firm. We don't realize that we realize we don't realize. We realize that we don't realize. I realize that I don't realize. There are times I'm not realizing what's in front of me. Sometimes I can come off real straightforward, straight shooter. I don't need to be so mean sometimes. I didn't even realize I was being mean. I thought I was just life. But then again, you weren't raised by my mother. Message. Be appreciative, yet firm. Acknowledge gratitude, but maintain your stance. Okay. For example, thank you so much for that offer, but I need to decline to focus on existing commitments. Now, I don't say all that. I just be like, I can't. I have the stuff that's going on because it's the truth. Like, I don't know. That's up to you because I don't know what everybody else is. I want to stand on the truth. If I'm not going to mess with something, I'm just not going to mess with it. Not going to hurt your feelings, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm working on that too because I'm not really good sometimes at pretending I like stuff. My eyes, they speak. All right. All right. We're almost out of here. And that's it. That's pretty much it. I just believe that I'm going to recap real quick. Understanding why we struggle to say no can help us break the habit. This is why we're having this conversation. Saying no creates balance, reduces stress, and it strengthens relationships, believe it or not. They're going to appreciate you more if you're honest. Just saying. Don't always say yes when you don't want to. It's okay. I'm just saying. I'm not going to eat something if I don't like it. I'm not throwing up because of you. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take massive craps because you want me to say yes to something I don't like to eat. Shit, I don't even like the smell of it. But you got to be nice about it. Oh, that's not good for me. Can't eat that. Thank you. Back in the day in the boogie, a lot of people used to just be like, a lot of friends, a lot of neighbors, a lot of, drugs, crack, everything was around me. You think I'm going to say yes just because they were in my face? I was just like, hell no. Look at you. Look how you look. Look at your teeth. You look crazy. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. And of course, my mom's punches and, hands and smacks and chancletazos helped out too when she was like, if you look at a man right now, you're going to get pregnant. The fear factor. So sometimes the fear factor helps us to really align with saying yes or no. Now, I don't want to live in fear. I want to live in peace. So this is why I keep going through these little things that I'm trying to process with you guys. I hope you're enjoying yourself. And lastly, check if a request aligns with your goals before saying yes. That's number one. Because protecting your time doesn't make you selfish, y'all. It makes you intentional. And that's the goal here. You want to move with purpose. You want to move with intention. Good intention, by the way, because some people have not good intentions. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about yourself too, prioritizing yourself. You got to prioritize yourself. We said this already. It doesn't make you weak. We talked about this. It makes you stronger. Shout out to the strength. Okay. And saying no isn't rejection, it's self respect. Self respect. All right. Every time you say a reluctant yes, yeah, yes, you're saying no to something more important, your well being, your health. And choose wisely, choose wisely, choose wisely, and watch your energy and confidence grow. That's right. Because wherever our attention goes, our energy will flow. Yeah, I know this already. So, all I wanted to say is thank you. Enjoy the rest of your wonderful Sunday evening. I'm going to get ready to relax, meditate, you know, prepare myself for tomorrow. It's a new day, new week. And y'all make sure y'all check out all the wonderful content creators over at the Alliance Network here at Roku TV. Shout out to Hear Me Out Poetry. Make sure y'all tap into the Dr. Poetry channel. The Hear Me Out Poetry. We have so much going on. And we have this new a movie. We have this nice section over at the Hear Me Out Poetry channel. We have this whole thing going on. It's called Poetic Cinema, right? People say cinema, cinema. I like cinema. Okay, Poetic Cinema. We have a great movie there. Okay, make sure we have the Piñero movie about Miguel Piñero. The actor, that actor, Mr. Brat. That's a great movie. It's about this poet, Boricua New Yorican poet, Miguel Piñero. Well, that movie is on Poetic Cinema on Hear Me Out Poetry Showcase with Dr. Poetry's whole list of fun stuff that we got going on. We got a lot. Shout out to Def Poetry. We have all this wonderful music as well. Make sure y'all tap into that wonderful, wonderful album release of 33 tracks, right? It's called So Poetic. So Poetic. I love it. I love it, y'all. All right, y'all. I'm going to get going. Shout out to all y'all. Mad love. Mad love to all y'all. Have a good one. Just remember, saying no, it's all right to say no. Elegantly. Stay elegant. Stay wonderful. Remember, wherever our attention goes, our energy's going to definitely flow. And we just want to grow. I know I do. Bye, y'all.
Energy's the new currency. It's what I'm being told. So I'm just gonna let my energy flow. And I hope you get it. Where power reigns supreme. Energy's the currency that fuels our dreams. No more dollars, no more cents, just wants and votes. That's how we gon' pay the rent. Oh baby, it's energy. No more gold and silver, it's the brand new currency called energy. Energy's the key. Some say it's the fortune and fame, but all I keep seeing is the currency. I keep hearing energy. Energy, energy, charging up lives, setting up some free lights within us, playing chess in 3D. From the morning's light to the midnight hour, our energy is the source that gives us that righteous power. From the morning's light